Namaste friends, welcome back to my channel. Friends, in today's video we are going to make this beautiful bracelet that I have named as Quadrate bracelet, and here I have made this bracelet in emerald green color with these cream color pearls. And in this video we are going to make this bracelet in chrysolite color. So let us see what all material do we need to make our Quadrate bracelet. For making our Quadrate bracelet in chrysolite color, we would need these 4 mm bicones in chrysolite color. Here I am using 3 mm pearls in two colors. These are in bronze color and these are in bright gold color. This I would be using for the component and this for my pearl chain attached to the bracelet. If you want, you can use a single color in 3 mm pearls. It depends on you. And then I'll be using these 4 mm pearls in bronze color. Here I'm using these seed beads. These are Miyuki duracoat galvanized champagne 11 O's and these are Miyuki duracoat galvanized champagne 15 O's. I'll be using this lobster clasp for my bracelet. If you want, you can add jump rings with it, but here I'll be making the loops with 15 O's. Then I'll be working with henna thread and size 12 beading needle. So let's get started. Friends, in the material list I have told you about the 6 mm pearl which we can attach at this end, but here in this bracelet I have not attached any 6 mm pearl here. So if you want to attach the 6 mm pearl, you can take it, and if you don't want to attach the 6 mm pearl, it's not actually needed. It is actually optional, so it's up to you. If you want to use 6 mm pearl, then you can use the 6 mm pearl, otherwise you can just make it like this. We would start making our bracelet by picking up 4 3 mm pearls. Here I'm bringing them down towards the end of my thread, and now I'll be tying a double knot like this. Now I'll pass through all these 4 pearls and bring this tail in between these pearls like this, pulling very gently. Like this. Now I will pick up one 15 champagne, one 4 mm bicone and one 15 champagne like this. One 15, one 4 mm bicone and one 15 champagne, and I will pass through the same pearl through which I am exiting right now. Like this, push this on the top. Now pass through this next 3 mm pearl into the next one, and now here you can see that I have reached this pearl which is opposite to this one, and now I'm picking up 115 champagne and I'll be passing through this 4 mm bicone like this, holding in on the top of this pearl component this way. Again pick up 115 champagne and pass through this the same pearl, pass through the same 3 mm pearl like this. So after adding these 15 O's and the bicones, this is the component. And now after adding these 15 O's, you can see that I'm exiting through this 3 mm pearl right now, and now I will pick up one 11 O champagne and pass through this next 3 mm pearl Again pick up 1 11 champagne and pass through this next 3 pearl, and this way I'll be adding these 11 champagne all through this round. Now here, after adding my last 11 champagne, right now I'm exiting through this 3 pearl, and after adding these 11 this is the look of our component. And now I will step up into the first 11 champagne. Now we can cut this tail off from our component, our quadrate component. And now, after stepping up into this 11 champagne, I will pick up 1 4 bicone, 1 15 champagne and 1 4 bicone like this, and pass through this next 11 champagne this way. Again, I will pick up 1 4 bicone, 1 15 champagne, and 1 4 bicone, and pass through this next 11 champagne. This way I am going to add the set of these 3 beads all through this round. Now, after adding the set of these bicones and 15s, right now I am exiting through this first 11 champagne. You can see this, and this is the look of our quadrate component after adding all these bicones and 15s. And now I will step up into the first bicone and into the 15 champagne, and the next bicone. Now, after passing through this first set of bicones and 15, I will pick up 1 15 champagne and pass through this next 4 bicone like this, and into this 15 and the next bicone. Again, I'm picking up 1 15 champagne and pass through this next 4 bicone, at the next bicone, and this way I'm going to add 15s here and here. Now here, after adding my last 15, you can see that I'm exiting through this 4 bicone, and after adding these 4 15s in between these bicones, this is the look of our quadrate component. And now I will pass through this 15 and the bicone, and now I am stepping up into the first 15 champagne that I added in this round. Now I will pick up 3 15 champagne and pass through the same 15, making a picot stitch over this 15 like this into the bicone like this. Again, passing through this 15 bicone and into the 15 that I added in the last round. Again, I am picking up 3 15 champagne and make a picot stitch over this 15 and pass through this next bicone like this, and this way I'm going to add this picot stitch over this 15 and this 15. So we would be adding in all 4 picot stitch over the 4 15s that we added in the last round. Now, after adding this last picot stitch, right now I'm exiting through this 15, and now I will step up into the 15, this one, and into this one. So here I have stepped up into these two 15-ohs that I added on top of this one. And now after exiting through this second 15-oh, I'm going to pick up one 4 mm bicone, one 11-oh champagne, one 4 mm pearl in bronze color, one 11-oh champagne, and one 4 mm bicone. So here I have picked up these beads, one 4 mm bicone, one 11-oh champagne, one 4 mm pearl, one 11-oh champagne, and one 4 mm bicone. And now after exiting through this 15-oh, I have picked up these beads, and now I'll be passing through this 15-oh, the middle 15-oh of the next picot stitch, like this, down through this 15-oh champagne, now into this 15-oh and into the 4 mm bicone, into the 15-oh in between these 4 mm bicones. And now I will pick up three 15-oh champagne and pass through this 4 mm pearl, like this. Again pick up three 15-oh champagne and pass through this 15-oh underneath, like this. And now after exiting through this 15-oh, I will pass through this bicone and the next 15-oh, like this. Into this 4 mm bicone and into the next 15-oh, into this bicone and the next 15-oh, into this next bicone and the 15-oh, and into this bicone and into this next 15-oh. And now I will just step up into the two 15-ohs over this 15-oh champagne, that picot stitch that we created on this 15-oh. Now here, as we made this component on this side, we are going to make this component, the same component, on the opposite side. So for making this, we just reached this point and we are exiting through this 15-oh champagne, and now we are going to pick up one 4 mm bicone, one 11-oh champagne, one 4 mm pearl in bronze color, one 11-oh champagne, and one 4 mm bicone. All these 5 beads that we added here. So here I have these 4 mm bicone, 11-oh champagne, 4 mm pearl, 11-oh champagne, and 4 mm bicone. And after picking up these beads, I'll be passing through this 15-oh champagne, the middle one, over this next picot stitch, down through this 15-oh, into the 15-oh underneath, and into the 4 mm bicone, like this, into the 15-oh, and again I'm going to pick up three 15-oh champagne, pass through this 4 mm pearl, like this, Again pick up 3 15 champagne and pass through this 15 underneath like this, and step up into the first set of these 3 15s. Now here we have completed our quadrate component, and now we are going to add the pearl chain to our bracelet. For this, as you can see right now, I'm exiting through this 4 pearl, and now I'm going to pick up 5 11 champagne and pass through this same 4 pearl like this. Now I will step up into the first 3 11 champagne, and right now I'm exiting through the middle one, and now I'm going to pick up 1 3 bright gold, 1 11 champagne, 1 3 bright gold pearl. So here I have picked up 1 3 bright gold pearl, 1 11 champagne and 1 3 bright gold pearl, and I will pass through the same 11 champagne like this. This way I have made a raw component with these beads, these pearls and 11s. Stepping up into the pearl, into the 11 champagne. Again I will pick up 1 3 pearl, 1 11 champagne and 1 3 pearl like this, and I will pass through this 11 champagne like this. Here we have to keep our thread a little tight. Stepping up into the 3 pearl, into the 11 champagne, again picking up 1 3 pearl, 1 11 champagne and 1 3 pearl like this, and passing through this same 11 champagne this way, stepping up into the 3 pearl and into the 11 champagne. As we are going to make our 7 inches long bracelet, so here on both sides we are going to add 16 such raw components. So here I have added on this side 1 2 3 raw component with these 3 pearls and 11 I'll be adding 13 more and come back. Now here I have completed 16 raw component chain, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 and 16, and now I'm going to add my clasp to this chain. Now after exiting through this 11 champagne, I will pick up 3 11 champagne, my lobster clasp here. As you can see that I'm exiting from this side of this 11 and this is the front side of our quadrate component, bracelet component, and now we are going to add our lobster clasp. So after adding these 11 I will pick up my clasp and put it like this on the front side. This will come, and now going through this clasp, and again I'm going to pick up 3 11 champagne and pass through this 11 champagne. So here we have attached the clasp this way. This is the right way of attaching the clasp, and now I'm going to take 2 passes through these 11 and into the clasp. So here is my first pass, into the 11 and into these 11 and the clasp, and down through these 3 11 and into this 11 champagne like this. And now after attaching the clasp, I will pick up one 11 champagne and go down through this 3 mm pearl, again picking up one 11 champagne, pass through this next 3 mm pearl, again picking up one 11 champagne, pass through this next 3 mm pearl, and this way I'm going to add these 11 champagne in between these 3 mm pearl on this side till I reach this end here, this end which is attached to our component. Now here I have added these 11 champagne on this side and I have reached this end here, and now I am picking up one 11 champagne and pass through this 11 champagne like this, again picking up one 11 champagne and I am going up through this next 3 mm pearl, again picking up one 11 champagne, moving up through the next 3 mm pearl, picking up one 11 champagne, moving up through this next 3 mm pearl. So this way I'm going to add these 11 champagne on the other side till I reach this end here. Now here I have added these 11 on this side also, and now I have reached this end here, and now I'm picking up my last 11 champagne and pass through this 11 champagne like this. So this way we have completed this side, and now we are going to move to the other side of our quadrate component, quadrate bracelet component. So for this we would be, as you can see, I'm exiting through this 11 champagne. I will go down through these beads and going down through all these 11 and the 3 mm pearl, and into this 3 mm pearl, into this 11, into this 11 champagne, down through these two 11s and into this 4 mm pearl, into these 11 and the bicone, into this 15 and the bicone, and the next 15 into this bicone, and this 15 and the bicone, these two 15s and the bicone, 11 and this 4 mm pearl. And now we have reached the other side of our bracelet, and now as we did on this side, we are going to add the pearl chain on the other side. So once again, for adding our pearl chain, I'm going to pick up 5 11 champagne and pass through this 4 pearl like this. Step up into the first 3 11s. Right now I'm exiting through this middle one, and I'm going to pick up one 3 pearl, one 11 champagne and one 3 pearl like this, and pass through this same 11 as we did on the other side. So here is our first row component with the pearls and the 11s on the other side, and same way we are going to make 16 such row components as we did on this side here. So again we are going to make 16 row component on this side also. So let me complete the chain with these 16 row components and come back. Now here I have only completed 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 components, and I have almost finished up with my threads. So here I'm going to add another thread. So for adding my another thread, let me make a knot with this one here. Okay, and I'm going back to some of the components, again making a knot here, down through the pearl into the 11, through the pearl, into the 11, again into the pearl and this 11, and into the pearl and the 11, again going up through this pearl and into the 11, and now I'm going to add another thread. Now for adding another thread, I will take passes from few components from here, tie a knot, into the 11, into the pearl and the 11, again make a knot here, down into the pearl, into the 11, up through this pearl, into this 11, and the pearl and into the 11. So here I have added another thread, and here I can cut this tail off, and now I'm going to make my rest of the raw components. Now here I have completed my pearl chain on this side also with 16 components. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 and 16, and now I'm going to add the loops. If you want you can add the jump rings, but here I'm showing you how to add the loops with 15 O's. So for this I'm picking up 3 15 champagne, 1 11 champagne, and then 3 15 champagne. So here I'm picking up 3 15 1 11 and 3 15 champagne, and I will pass through this 11 champagne like this, stepping up into the first 3 15 into the 11, again I'm picking up 3 15 champagne, 1 11 champagne, and 3 15 champagne, like this. And I will pass through this 11 champagne. Again, picking up 3 15 champagne, 1 11 champagne, and 3 15 champagne, and pass through this 11 champagne like this. Here I am adding 3 loops. If you want, you can add more depending on the size you want to increase. And here, after adding this third loop, if you want, you can go back. If you don't want to add the pearl, as I have done in my bracelet, here in this bracelet I have not added the pearl at the end, and in this bracelet also I will show you the loop without adding the pearl. But if you want to add the pearl at the end of this loop, you can watch my another video with my sleek boxy bracelet, and in that video I have shown you how to add the 6 pearl at the end of this loop. So here I'm not adding the pearl. I will just go back into these 15s and the 11s, again into these 15s, 11s, into the 15, and into the 11, like this. And now I'm going to add this 11 here, and now we are going to add the 11s as we did on the other side here. So we would be adding the 11s on this side also, on both the sides, and I will be completing at this side by adding the 11s here and here until I reach this end near the loop. Now here I have added these 11s on the other side also, and now right now I'm exiting through this 3 pearl, and here I'm adding my last 11 champagne, and I will pass through this 11 like this, moving up into the 15s, into the 11, and here I will tie a knot in between this 11 and 15, moving up through these 3 15s into the 11, again tying a knot in between this 11 and the 15, moving up through these 15s into this 11, into this 15, these 3 15s, and now we can cut our thread off. So here is our bracelet. Here we have completed our bracelet, our quadrate bracelet in chrysolite color. And let us check the length. Here you can see the length of our bracelet is 7 inches, and here we have our loops. So here is the clasp, and here are our loops. And if you want to increase the length of the bracelet, you can increase the number of components, these raw components with pearls and 11 O's. And here is our bracelet, our quadrate bracelet in two colorways. This is in emerald green color and this is in chrysolite color. Here I have used these cream color pearls with these emerald green bicones, and here I have used these bright gold pearls with these chrysolite bicones. So these are the two colorways that we have made, and I hope you would love this beautiful bracelet. You would love making them and of course gifting them to your friends and family. And friends, if you like my designs, my videos and my tutorials, please do subscribe to my channel, and please don't forget to press the bell icon so that you may get notified when I'll upload my next video. Thank you.